Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves. So today I have a really, I would say, controversial video for you guys because I believe that there are going to be people who disagree with me in my choices. And that's okay. But today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about the plants that I regret buying. While I do love all my plants, there are some plants that I wish I got other versions of or wish I didn't get altogether just because maybe they're a little bit too difficult to care for, or there's so many different reasons why I regret buying plants. But I really tried to keep impulsive plant buying to a minimum, and I find with all of the plants that I'm about to show you, I did at one point love these plants a lot, but now as my taste has evolved and the plants that I'm into have changed, I don't know, I just find myself slightly regretting these purchases. Not to say I did at the time though. Before I get into the video, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I would love it so much if you would hit that button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you'd like to join as a member and join our Facebook community and gain access to extra content, you can also click the join button down below. That also really helps me out. And the final thing I will say before we start this video is if you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up down below because that is a great way to help other people find my video and make this community just a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm sorry, one more thing. We hit 4,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I cannot believe it. Honestly, when I started this channel, I had zero expectations. I have tried to do YouTube a few times, doing different things like makeup, lifestyle videos, and this time it really just did stick, and it's all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys for sticking around, hitting the subscribe button, and allowing me to do what I love to do every day. Now I'm done. Let's get straight into this video, guys. So already off the bat here, I know that you guys are going to hate me. I don't love this plant so much anymore. I don't think I really loved it in the first place, to be honest. I think that I mostly bought it because it was a trendy plant and I thought maybe I would like it when it grew up. And it has a few more leaves now, it's growing a little bit, and I'm still not 100% a fan of this plant. The first plant that I regret buying is the variegated, what's your name? Burle Marx. I always forget the name of this one because I want to say Billy Tie, but it's not. Yes, this here is my variegated Burle Marx. It's just a wee little guy, but I'm just not honestly a huge fan of the growth pattern of this plant. I actually don't even know how it grows. Does it grow up a pole? It's just kind of like a bush for me right now. And I don't know, it's just, it doesn't have the most striking leaves. I think that the reason I'm not obsessed with this plant at the moment is because it's in a juvenile form still. I think that once it gets longer and resembles a mature not Billy Tie, oh my gosh. Can you tell I love my Billy Tie? I'll show you it. This is it. I love it. Anyways, I think that once this resembles a more mature Burle Marx, that I will enjoy this plant more. I'm definitely not going to get rid of it by any means. I don't want to trade it or sell it for anything. It's just not my #1 favorite plant, and I like to only have plants that I really love, or they end up dying because I neglect them. I don't know if any of you guys are guilty of neglecting the plants that you don't absolutely love, or the plants that you keep in other rooms because you don't care too much about them, but I am guilty. I'm sorry. But yeah, this guy, I think that it will eventually grow on me. I just need to give it some time The variegation is beautiful on this one. I'm very lucky it's not reverting at all. I think that is the newest leaf, which is really promising. Another thing though is that this one was a very quick grower for me at one time. It has lost a leaf since I had it, but it did put out like 3 new leaves since probably May or June. So it was growing at a decent pace, but it has really slowed down in growth, and I don't know why exactly. It hasn't moved, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna give this one a little bit more priority in terms of the grow lights, and just see if I can push out some more growth on this guy to see if I can slowly fall in love with it a little bit more again. But yes, this is my Philodendron Burle Marx Variegata. Okay, this next plant, I know you guys are all gonna hate me. I'm gonna get hate for this video. Anyways, the next plant here has also given me some trouble. It was growing really small leaves. It came with 2 nice leaves. I'll show you, they're a little bit damaged now, but every leaf that it put out after the 2 leaves that it came with were tiny. And I mean like tiny. I gave this one a pull and nothing happened. It kept putting out tiny leaves. The leaves kept getting stuck. They would puncture holes in themselves, and trust me, humidity was not the problem because I have an ambient humidity. Well, I don't know what ambient even means. Why am I using that word? I know what, anyways. I have my room's humidity always around 60 to 70%, which I believe to be enough for leaves to come out. And also when I see leaves on this plant coming out, I also missed it. Let me show you this plant so you're not confused. This is my Philodendron Melanochrysum, and it started melting a little bit at the bottom. I've had to kind of cut the leaves a little bit, but it does seem like the melting has not spread, which is really good. So yeah, anyways, with this guy, I'm just having the worst luck with growth. So what I ended up doing was I chopped it and propagated it, and I'm actually really excited because the new growth that it's shooting out directly after that propagation is looking pretty big, I think. I don't even know if that's a leaf or if that's just a stem. I can't tell. Anyways, I'm hoping that this is just a large leaf that's coming out, and I'm hoping that I did the right thing because it's looking good and it's looking a lot bigger than it was. So hopefully that's a leaf, or it will be a leaf soon. Another thing I regret about this plant is the fact that I didn't buy a larger one, that I didn't wait and find one that was like the size of my hand. Because with this one, I've heard that it does take a little bit longer to get to its mature size. So I'm gonna be waiting decades until this plant is large. So I might end up trading this guy one day, or just keeping it and buying another larger Melanochrysum. But it's honestly not even my favorite philodendron. I think I would rather just buy like a cool mature-ish gigas. I know they're a little bit more uncommon, but it's more attractive than this plant in my opinion. I don't know, man. That's all I gotta say about this one. I'm hopeful that this leaf comes out nice and I can start loving this plant again. So I will keep you guys updated on my Instagram. If you're not already following me on Instagram, it is just @Lulu'sLeaves. Please do so. I post lots of extra content, lots of stories on there every single day, so check it out. So the next plant I wouldn't say I regret because I do still love this plant, but this is one of the plants that I regret not buying a different form of. I have the Forgetii, either regular form, this may be the dark form, but I'm I'm pretty sure it's just the regular form. It has a new leaf here, which is super exciting because it looks pretty perfect. So far, I have not touched it, and I won't touch it because usually I ruin these perfect leaves. When I was working the other day at Secret Garden, I saw a beautiful forgetti-eye. It's a forgetti-eye silver, or like with the nice veining, and I had instant regrets. I was like, why didn't I get that one? I thought that was a crystallinum forgetti-eye cross. And I'm not super into hybrids. I like the philodendron crosses, like Glorious, Majestic, what else? Some other cool hybrids, but I'm not super into Anthurium hybrids. So I wanted a pure forgetti-eye, and I just didn't realize that that was one as well. So yeah. This guy has some yellowing, probably just a lack of humidity, or who knows. I'll probably end up cutting these leaves off one day down the line once it has a few more perfect leaves, because it does have this beautiful leaf. Sorry, I didn't clean anything. It has that beautiful leaf, and then it will have this new beautiful leaf as long as I don't ruin it. But yeah, I'll probably chop these guys off one day. Probably just this one, because it will likely yellow itself eventually. But yes, I will post a picture right here of the Anthurium forgetti-eye silver, I'm gonna call it. I don't really know if that's what it's called, but I may just have to get that one as well. Probably not. Probably shouldn't. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I still love this one. I wish I would have held out for what I was really looking for, but I didn't know it really was a thing. So here's my Anthurium forgetti-eye. Still a beautiful plant. Not my cup of tea. Well, it is. I don't know. Maybe I want both. This is a half regret. The next plant on this list is one that will also upset you guys. Yeah, this one it's honestly really beautiful, but it's a very slow grower, like very, very slow. It makes me sad how slow it is. I think if I had a larger one of this and it was like growing up a pole, maybe that would be something I'd be more interested in, but it ain't. It's small and it's not going anywhere fast. I did actually just propagate this one, which I regret because I forgot that they're the slowest plants to root. Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. But this is my Monstera Peru. I'm gonna start this off by saying I'm not even a huge Monstera fan to begin with. I have the Monstera Peru, the Dubia or Dubia. My mom and I share the Monstera Albo, but I'm not really a huge fan of Monsteras. I do really appreciate the texture of this plant. It is really, really cool, but the fact that it's slow growing and not very rewarding is what gets me. I really, really like plants that are constantly putting out new leaves, plants that are giving me some height or bushiness. And this one's just really not doing anything. It'll put out a random leaf every few months, but that's about it. The one thing I will say about this plant is that I don't regret buying it when I did, because I purchased this plant for $19. I don't think that I've ever heard of anyone getting this plant for $19. Typically, retail price for these guys is around $60 to $80 for a plant, depending on how healthy it is. I've seen a lot of Monstera Perus that look like they're yellowing. It's hard. Who knows? Prices are skyrocketing anyways. I did get this before things really started to take off, so maybe that's why I got lucky, but yes, $19 for this baby. I still regret it though, because I just don't love this plant as much as it needs to be loved. But at least it doesn't cause me grief. It doesn't need a lot of extra care. It's really happy in just normal humidity, and barely needs to be watered like any Monstera. They are pretty easygoing, but I'll keep it around because it's one of my boyfriend's favorite plants, and he doesn't like, I mean, he likes plants, but he's not like a plant enthusiast or anything. And he likes this one, so it's staying. I don't know if any of you guys have that same thing where your significant other enjoys plants too, or enjoys one plant of yours and you won't get rid of it. Even if it's the ugliest plant in the world, you won't get rid of it because they love it. Anyways, let's move on from this plant. The last plant here is one that's very difficult not to have on frame right now, or in frame. But this plant I got for a steal of a deal. I think Harley says that, steal of a deal. Anyways, this plant was mislabeled, and I wasn't cheating anyone out of their money. I didn't realize what this plant usually costs because it's a very uncommon plant. Yes, it was mislabeled, and I definitely did not pay what I should have paid for this plant. I see it lots of other places being sold for $200 for a single leaf, and I paid $80 for the entire plant that I have. Okay, do I hate this plant? I don't know. I've been chatting it up this whole time. Anyways, this is my Anthurium effusispathium. I wouldn't say I hate this plant or I super regret buying it. This video was kind of hard to make because I really do like a lot of my plants, but I think that what I regret about this plant is the fact that it takes up so much room and causes me to not have room for a lot of plants that I would like. I think this plant has like a wingspan of like 3 or 4 feet, which makes it really difficult to place in a small apartment. I think my plant room is about 10 feet by like 15 feet maybe, and I just have half the room basically. So making room for this guy is not easy, and it's not like my favorite looking plant. I really had no idea what it was, but it was really cool and I knew I like wanted it because it was a good price. But it does have a lot of similar characteristics to the Anthurium metallicum, but it's not velvety. It's a shiny, kind of plasticky plant. So I think that's why I don't like it. I'm not super into the plasticky, shiny look. I'm definitely more of a velvety fan. Although I would even like a shiny leaf. Like I like my Pastazanum and I like my Ploumannii, but this one's like cardboardy. I don't even know. I don't know. It is still beautiful though, and I'm not going to get rid of it. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of these plants, but I definitely have some regrets about buying this just due to the sheer size of it and the amount of room it takes up in my plant room. It is really cool though, because hopefully one day this plant will do me well in a trade if someone's looking for it. It is like a higher ticket item. I'm not gonna sell it for some crazy price, but if someone wants to trade me something valuable, I'd definitely be trading it for its proper value. Anyways guys, that is it from me. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing my top 5 plants that I regret buying. If you want to see more content like this from me, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you'd like to, you can also click the bell button beside it and click all so that you get notified every single time I do post a video. If you enjoyed this video, please also leave a thumbs up down below. It really helps out this video and my channel as a whole. But the most amazing way that you could support me is by clicking that join button. You can do so for as little as $1.99 Canadian per month. You totally do not have to do that though. It's just if you want to go the extra mile, it really does help me out, and it lets me make more videos for you guys and give you more of my time basically. With that being said though guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!